And you'll have to just tap that button. It does go away even if you don't tap it. All right, so let's start standing up. Today we're going to put the magic circle between your calves for Friday flow. And wiggling your feet into as close a stance as you can get, as narrow a stance, but don't work it too hard. I want you to be able to straighten your knees. Find the length in your lower back, pull your ribs in, find the inner and outer edges of your feet. Now you have to work for it a little bit more. You're going to feel those glutes firing, squeezing the circle from your inner thighs. So just holding that circle, squeeze it a little bit more and anticipate that you're going to go up on your toes. So you need to squeeze the circle almost like you're lifting it off the floor as you rise up. You are lifting it, but you want to think that you're lifting it before you even raise your heels. Try that a couple of times, lifting your heels, squeezing the circle. Don't go for too narrow a stance if you can't quite maintain it when you're up on your toes. Yep, and back down. When you're up on your toes, pay attention to the position of your feet where the pressure is. A little bit more weight on the inside of your left foot, Janet. And Karen, your right foot. Oh, no, your left as well. And then bring your heels down. See if you can walk your feet just a little bit closer together. Go up on the toes. We'll do our little 2x4 exercise here. So we're squeezing the circle. We're bending the knees. We're squeezing the circle even more. Then we lower the heels, squeeze the circle even more to straighten the knees. Up on the toes. Bending the knee. Don't release the circle. Lower the heels. Straighten the legs. One more like that. Up on the toes. Squeezing the circle. Bending the knees slightly. Keeping the circle, same amount of pressure, heels go down, squeeze the circle to straighten the legs and reverse, bend the knees, squeeze the circle and lift the heels, keep squeezing the circle even more to straighten the legs and then lower the heels, bend the knees, squeeze the circle to lift the heels, straighten the legs, heels are up, squeeze the circle a little bit more, lower the heels. Last time, heels are down, squeezing the circle as you bend your knees. Keep squeezing it as you raise those heels up. Squeeze it even more to straighten the legs and release. Remove the circle, hold it between your hands. Come to the end of your mat so you have the full length of your mat behind you. Stretch the arms out in front. Squeeze your circle a little bit more. Sit up a little bit taller. Now you have no trouble getting your legs together. Hold those legs together, squeeze the circle. And release. As you squeeze the circle, I want you to engage the ribs, pull them together, and tie that string around your waist with your exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale, engage those upper ribs, string around your waist. Now bring one foot behind you, squeeze the circle, and see if you can lower yourself all the way down to the mat, however is safest for you. Very good. Lay down on your back, stretch the legs out long. Stretch the arms up to the ceiling, still holding your circle. Give it a good squeeze. Inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Reach them so much that it lifts your shoulders, lifts your head. Squeeze those legs as if you're still standing on them. Start to pump the circle between your hands. Inhale for 5 pumps. Exhale for 5 pumps. Start to raise one leg for 5 pumps. And lower that leg for 5 pumps. Switch to the other leg. Make your waist narrower with every exhale. Push the ribs down. Stretch those arms longer. Last one on the left. Bring both legs down. Set the circle aside. Start pumping the arms the conventional way. So we're pumping them at the side. You can stretch those legs so much. Anchor the ribs down. Anchor your waist down. You maybe lift your legs up. You can bring them straight up to the ceiling, which would be the easiest way with straight legs, or you can start to lower them and find your working height. I think we're coming up to our last breath cycle. And then lower everything down, reach the arms back, take a big stretch, make a fist with your right hand, push it into cover it with your left hand and take a stretch in that direction, and then push your left fist into your right hand. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. We're doing a roll up. If you get stuck here, which you probably will, bend your knees, grab the back of your legs, and stretch your legs forward to come all the way up. We're doing 5 roll-ups. As you're moving backwards, you start with legs straight, you start to bend the knees. As you go back, think of a soup bowl on your pelvis. Keep it level, don't spill it. As you're coming up, you want to think about keeping that soup bowl level and pressing down through it. Good, mind your neck, keep it long. Think of how it feels when you move that sheet of paper away. When you're finished your 5 roll-ups, stay down on the mat for a single leg kick, single leg circles. Very good. Press into the back of your arms, flex your left foot, turn out your right foot and place the heel in the arch of the left foot so the leg's slightly elevated. Think of that soup bowl. Think of your pelvis being completely level and start raising that right leg up to the ceiling. Cross it over the left, down, around, and up. Inhale on the downstroke, exhale on the upstroke. You've got 5 here. When you're finished your 5, reverse. If you feel like a clicking in your hip flexor at your hip, you need to stretch the leg more. Stretch it right out of the hip socket. That's just a tight tendon. It's just annoying and disconcerting. Pull that knee into your chest and take a big stretch. Pull the knee in, stretch the other leg out in opposition. Stretch the piece of paper out from underneath your head and reverse the position of your legs. Turn out the left, heel in the arch, lift that left leg up, cross it over the right, down, around, and up. Across, down, around, and up. Push the shoulders down, push the ribs down. Inhale, exhale on the upstroke. Reverse when you're ready. Stretch the leg out of the socket. Keep pushing into the back of your arms and elongating the back of your neck and stretch that leg when you're ready. Pull the knee into your chest, stretch the other leg in opposition. Pull both knees in, grab behind your legs and rock yourself up to sitting for rolling like a ball. Grabbing your shins, lean back, find your balance. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, and even now, think about stretching that piece of paper away with the back of your head and go ahead and roll to your shoulder blades. Exhale into your ribs to roll up. Good morning, Marie. Inhale to roll back, exhale to roll up. Try and stay in your ball position. If you need to, grab underneath your knees if your back is still feeling tight. We're just doing 5 of these, which I think this is your last one. Come all the way up and balance on your 5th. Good. Grab your right leg with your right hand at the ankle, left hand just above. Stretch out the left leg. Hold it here. Balance. Move back another inch. Balance. Move back another inch. Balance. Keep moving back until your upper back is on the mat. Tips of the shoulder blades. Stretch the neck and shoulder blades apart. Stretch out that left leg. Pull the right knee in as close as you can, and then stretch your arms out straight beside you. Hold it. Hold it, hold it. Switch legs, use your hands to pull the left knee into your shoulder. Pull it in closer, get your tailbone down. Now, remove your arms, stretch them out and hold it. Hold it, hold it. Switch legs, no arms. Switch legs, no arms. Pull that knee in closer. Pull the knee in closer. Inhale and exhale, keep switching. Anchor your body through the center. Anchor your soup bowl, fix your neck. We have one more right. Pull the knee in closer, don't let it just linger in there. There you go. Pull both knees in, rest your head, turn it side to side, grab both shins. Anchor that tailbone, lift your head. Inhale as you stretch the legs out for double straight leg stretch. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Straight up, not back. Straight up more. Straight up more. Now take the arms up to a T, circle the arms towards your thighs, and then bend the knees in. Exhale, 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 and with flow, go. Inhale on the stretch, circle the arms and exhale the legs in. Inhale, reach the arms up higher. Exhale, pull them in. You have 2 more. Keep the shoulders and earlobes apart, and then rest your head and shoulders. When you're ready, grab your magic circle, quick leg stretch. Left knee bent, right foot in the circle. Pull the knee into your chest. If you've got the ball nearby, you can squish it with your knee. And then flex your ankle, push up through the heel, push down through your hip, straighten the left leg, and then try and straighten the right leg, whatever leg's up. Push the hip away from you, push the hip down, pull the leg across to the left side. Keep the left leg long and anchored and foot flexed. And push a little bit more, keep pulling. If the hip comes off, then you return the hip back to the mat. Then transfer the circle to your outside hand, your right hand, bring the leg out to the side. Think of lengthening both sides of your waist, they're the same. Flex both feet, reach through both arches. And then switch legs. Pull that leg into the circle, into the ball, bringing your foot over your face. And then start to push up through the heel, flex the ankle a lot. Straighten the right leg as you go, straighten the left leg up to the ceiling. Holding the circle with your right, start to pull that leg in that direction. Anchor your hip, square off your hip, use your left hand to help you. Pull a little bit further, flex the ankle a little bit more. Pull so much that maybe your left hip comes off the mat, and you're gonna pull it back to the mat with intention, and then put the ball under your upper arm. Bring the leg out to the side for the inner thigh stretch, reaching through both arches. And then bring the leg up to the ceiling, set your equipment aside, hold behind each leg, stretch those legs up to the ceiling, curl your head and shoulders up, anchor your tailbone. Imagine actually you're up against the wall and you're pushing your heels up to the wall. You're trying to get your bum as close to the wall as possible. Reach both arms up high on the right, lower the left leg, and switch. Pull the left leg in and switch. Make sure your arms are straight. Make sure you're anchoring through your ribs. One more like this, and then you're going to bring those arms alongside your body. Straight arms, no help from your arms. Reach them forward, bring the legs and switch. Bring them up to that same spot and switch. And switch. Very good. We have one more right and one more left. I might have stuck in an extra on this one. And then rest your head. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Point your elbows up to the ceiling. Lift your elbows and your shoulder blades, lengthen the back of your neck. Shoulder blades are off the mat. Squeeze the legs together. Lower them 1, 2, 3. Hold it there. Stretch out the front of your hips as you lift the legs straight up. Lower the legs 1, 2, 3. When you're at your lowest point, whatever that is for you, try and get more opening in the front of your hips before you lift them. Keep the shoulder blades up by protracting them, by pointing those elbows forward. You can stick with this choreography, or you can go down quickly and lift really slowly. Anchor those ribs, press down through the tailbone. Make your waist narrower. Last one, and then bend your knees, bring them hip width apart, reinterlace your fingers the weird way. Anchor those hips, curl the head up, shoulders up. Crisscross, pull the right knee in, just pull it in, don't twist, just pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Stretch the left leg, keep pulling the right knee in. Now twist. You might be able to even touch that knee. Come back to the center. Stay centered with your shoulders as you pull the left knee in and stretch the right leg away. Keep pulling the left knee in. See if you can twist and touch it. And twist and touch the knee. And twist and touch the knee. Now when you twist and touch the knee, open the back elbow. Twist and touch the knee, open the back elbow. You have one more of those. You're touching the knee, you're opening the back elbow, and then hold behind your knees and get yourself up to a seated position for a spine stretch forward. Feet as wide as your mat, feet are flexed. We'll grab your magic circle, just hold it between your hands, place it down with straight arms. Where it lands is typically the right spot for you. Then press down on it, lengthen, lift your ears off your shoulders and get longer in your waist. And then relax the circle for a second. Take the pressure off, push down again. As you push down, externally rotate the upper arms, open the collarbones, get longer through your waist, relax. One more of those. Lift the collarbone up higher than your shoulders. Imagine that's what's happening. That's it. And then once you have pressure on it this time, make sure your feet are flexed. Keep the pressure on it and start to push the circle forward. Don't think about your head going anywhere. You push the circle so far forward that it brings your shoulders forward, it brings your head forward. Push your hips down, push your tailbone down, flex your feet a little bit harder, then push your hamstrings down. Inhale, you release the circle and you sit up tall. Once again, press down on the circle first. Think of lifting your collarbone up higher than your shoulders and start to push the chin down just a bit, Danielle, and then start to push the circle forward. It draws your shoulders forward. Good, keep going, keep pushing on that circle. When you're at your limit, make sure your feet are flexed, press your hamstrings down, release the circle, sit up tall again. Nice, 3 more of those. Make sure that you are alternating the top hand. And make sure that you breathe. This is one of those breathing exercises. So you're fully inhaling as you stack your spine up, and you exhale fully as you go forward. When you think you're fully exhaled, try a little bit more exhalation and a little bit more reach, a little bit more pressure. And when you've done your 5, sit up tall. Good, let's bend your knees, slightly putting the magic circle between your calves. Open the knees and the toes out to the side. Hold underneath your knees for open leg rocker. Lean back onto your sacrum, onto the back of your sit bones. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen the back of your neck. Lean back a little bit more till you pick up your feet. Now think of your pelvis as a soup bowl, or think of that triangle facing the ceiling. Keep it level, don't spill any of your soup or your cereal, and see if you can straighten the legs. Good, you've got a grip of the circle just enough. Knees and toes are rotated outward. Now we're gonna spill the soup. We're gonna roll back onto our shoulder blades and then get that soup level again. Roll back, inhale as you go back, exhale as you come up. Keep an eye on the circle. In fact, just look straight through it. Keep the collarbones open. Think about the contents of that bowl. You have 1 left. Very nice, everyone. And then come up and balance. Remove the circle, bring your legs together, holding behind your legs. Think of your soup bowl. It's all level, it's all great right now, but you're gonna walk your hands down the back of your legs. Keep your soup bowl as level as you can and bring your upper back down onto the mat. Corkscrew, squeeze those legs together. Press into the back of your arms. If you're able to, squeeze the legs tight, tight, tight. Both legs go to the right. Sweep down away from your chest and hips and over to the left and center. And reverse. So we've done enough of these that we know it's the pelvis doing that little teeter-totter rotation. The shoulders and the rib cage don't move. The neck stays long. You push into your hands. You lengthen those arms. You inhale on the downstroke, exhale on the upstroke. Last one when you go left to right. Squeeze the legs tight. And then pull the knees into your chest. Take a quick stretch. Hold behind your legs and pull yourself up to a seated position for saw. I'm not going to use any equipment. I'm not going to teach you with equipment. You go ahead and use your equipment if you like. Flex your feet, bring them to the width of the mat, stretch your arms out long, reach across the room, try and touch the opposite sides of the wall. Now lengthen the back of your neck, move the sheet of paper up the wall behind you with the back of your head. Take a big inhale, another breathing exercise. Exhale as you rotate to the right. Keep exhaling, you can look at your back arm, and then bring the left hand across. See if you can push into the outside of your foot or push into the outside of your calf or your ankle. Looking down at your knee, keep reaching forward with one arm and back with the other, and really anchor the opposite hip. Inhale, let the back arm pull you back up. It's just like spine stretch forward, except that we're twisting. Inhale and exhale as you go to the right. Look at your back arm. Keep reaching through both arms, reaching across. So outside of your foot, you're karate chopping your foot or the side of your ankle, and you're reaching forward and back at the same time, more weight on the right hip. Inhale, stack yourself back up. Go ahead with a little bit more flow. Inhaling and exhaling. Just be mindful, take care of your neck. Don't let the heaviness of your neck, your head pull you forward. The head comes forward because your shoulders come forward. Don't let that be the thing that leads. Remember with the magic circle, when we do the spine stretch forward, I have you initiate with your arms. Finish when you go to the left on this one. Good. And then bring your legs together, roll down onto your back. Raise one arm up, and whatever arm is up next to your ear, roll over onto that side. And then onto your stomach. Good. I'm doing this stuff kind of old school with as little equipment as possible. However, feel free to grab a piece of equipment if you like. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders for neck roll. Press into the full surface of your palm. Head is down, nose is down. I'm keeping my head up so you can hear me. Squeeze your legs together today. Press your pelvis down. Scoop your belly up. And then stretch the legs so much that you're balancing on your pelvis and the legs are just lifted off. Put the legs back down. Press into your palms and pull the elbows back. Don't move your hands, but imagine that you're actually going to drag your body forward using your arms. Start to roll a marble forward with your nose. And you're pushing into your palms. We're not straightening our arms because of the position of them. We're just lifting that chest. Draw the chest forward. Lift your throat. Lift, pull the belly in, and lower yourself back down. One more of those. We're adding the neck roll to the next one. Press down into those hands. Pull the elbows back. Pull the shoulder blades back. Look over your right shoulder. Look all the way back. Now pull both shoulder blades back while you look at your foot. Drag your chin over to the left collarbone and over the left shoulder. See if you can spot your left foot. And then circle up to the ceiling, forward, center, reverse. Go over your left shoulder. Drag your chin from left shoulder to right shoulder, up to the ceiling and center, reverse. One more each side. With lots of intention, lots of connection to the shoulder. Very nice. Sit back and take a quick counter stretch. Good. Then we're laying down on our stomach once again for our single leg kicks. Bend your elbows and let your forearms be on the mat and elbows under the shoulders. Your choice whether you want to have a fist or a flat palm. Forearms, however, are parallel to the sides of the mat. You need to have equal weight in your elbows and your hands. Yes, find that pelvis, press into it, pull your belly up. Now stretch the legs and see if your legs can just float off the mat. Squeeze them together. Push into those forearms. Relax the legs. We're not lifting them yet. We're not kicking them yet. I just want you to experience. Janet, bring your elbows forward a little bit more. And Mary, lift your head a little bit more. Look, yeah, now everyone pull their shoulders back. Mary, bring your elbows forward a tiny bit. Okay, now stretch the legs, see if they float, and go ahead and kick the right leg. Kick, kick. Karen, bring your elbows under your shoulders. They're a little bit too far. Even more, even more. No, that's your hands under your shoulders. Elbows forward a little bit more. Yeah, even a tiny bit more. I would go even an inch more. And Marie, you can bring your elbows forward too. That's better. It puts everyone in a much better place. Very nice. Keep trying to drag your body forward. Janet, look forward. Last right, last left. And then rest your right cheek on the mat. Bring your hands around to the back. Bend your elbows. And you can grab the circle if you prefer. This is whatever. Grab fingers, grab a wrist. Rotate the top of your shoulders down into the mat, elbows up to the ceiling. All the weight on your pelvis, no weight on your belly. Bend your knees and kick your heels, which are together, to your bum. 1, 2, 3. Hands reach for your feet as you straighten your legs, lift your chest. Good, turn your head, bend your elbows, bend your knees. Kick 1, 2, 3. And stretch arms and legs in opposite, arms and legs in the same direction, head in the opposite direction. Turn your head. Kick your legs. Make sure that you alternate the grip of your hands and that you make the straightening of your legs and the reach of your arms one snappy movement. One last set. Make sure the weight is on your pelvis, not on your belly. And when you snap those legs out long, maybe the thighs stay light. And reach, 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 and release. Push yourself back into another recovery pose, stretching out your back. Take a big deep breath. Lay down once more. We're going to do our quick little thigh stretch, hip flexor stretch, grabbing your circle or whatever you have handy, putting your feet inside. If you've got a ball nearby, put it between your inner thighs. And then reach back, grab that circle, squeeze the legs tight if you can, so you're really squeezing the ball. Pull with your arms, relax your neck. In fact, keep the back of your neck really long. No wrinkles in the back of your neck. Pulling on your legs. You should feel the knees lift even now. You're not even putting any effort into lifting them. Press into your pelvis, pull your belly off. Now put as much tension on that circle as you can, pulling on it. Keep your elbows bent. Start to press the pelvis down, push the knees up, lengthen your lower back, pull your belly in, lots going on, squeeze the ball, and then relax. Keep the back of your neck long, and do that again. Pull on the circle as much as you can, press your pelvis down, and then start to push your knees, keep the tension in your arms, push your knees to the ceiling, feet to the ceiling, lower back long, back of your neck long. Last one. Relax, and then pull again. 1, 2, see if you can get even closer to your feet on this one. Don't just lift your head. Put the effort into trying to lift your knees. Keep the back of your neck long instead. Yes, 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 yes. Very nice, very nice. Relax. And then we're going to come up on our knees and use our ball and magic circle once more for don't die. For our thigh stretch. Ball between your inner thighs. I've been asking you to put the magic wedget between your heels and your hamstrings. So much easier when you're not on we didn't do this on Wednesday, but we normally put our feet over the barrel on Wednesdays, which is an even deeper stretch. Reach the arms up to the ceiling, take a big stretch. Now pull your ribs in. Good, pull your ribs back. Don't lean back. In fact, take the weight off the circle. Good, now, but pull the ribs back over the circle. Bring your arms forward, release your hands. Keep reaching forward, pull the ribs back. Leaning back, flatten out that lower back. When you're in your lean, squeeze the circle and try to pull the front of your waistband up using your abdominal muscles. Float up and off the circle. You don't have to, are you cramping, Mary? Yeah, okay, take care of yourself. Leaning back, squeeze the ball a little bit more. Squeeze, 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 Karen, squeeze that ball. Yes, now pull the ribs back, that's right, and then come back up. You have 5 of these. Nice. So look down at your ball on this last one, get your ribs out of the way, push your kneecaps down into the mat. Is this your 5th one? And then you can float all the way up. Lay down on your back for basic bridge. Knees are bent, roughly at 90-degree angle. Well, the feet are directly under the knees, more or less. And you might not know what that feels like, but you'll know when you go into your bridge. Let's bring the feet all the way together so the inner borders are touching, pressing into the back of your arms. Then bring your feet into what you think is Pilates stance. And then separate your heels as wide as the position of your toes. Now you're probably in hip width. Press into the inner and outer borders of your feet. Press into your tailbone. Think of that soup bowl. Keep your milk at soup level. Press into the back of your arms. Take a couple of deep breaths and curl your tailbone off the mat. Just your tailbone, and then push it back down. Curl the tailbone off and then press it back down. One more time. Just the tailbone curls off and then press it down. Now from this press down tailbone position, I want you to lift right up onto your shoulder blades. Now hold it there. Push the knees forward, press into the inner border of the feet. Push the shoulders down deeper. Think of your thigh stretch. You are in exactly the same position as thigh stretch, if you think about that being on your knees. And then now articulate down through your spine, through the space between your arms. Don't let your neck change. Don't let your arms change. Don't let your shoulders slide up towards your ears. Come right up onto your shoulders. Think of the ribs coming down as the hips are lifting. You're pressing into the inner borders of your feet and articulate down. Nice. You have one more of these. Stay up on the next one. Look down at your knees, just like when we do thigh stretch. Lengthen your arms, reach them a little bit more, press into those feet a little bit more, press into the inner borders. We're going to be lifting one leg up. So if I'm lifting my right, I'm going to really push into my left foot. Stretch the right leg up to the ceiling. Lift it up. I want you to push a button that's on the ceiling. Bring that leg down in line with the left, and then push that button again. Down in line with the left. One more push on the button, and then bend the knee, place the foot down, back to where you started, articulate through your spine. Don't let the neck change, don't let the arms shrink. Roll, come right back up onto those shoulder blades. Stabilize before you start kicking. Push into the back of your arms. Think of your thigh stretch, look down the length of your body. Push into that right foot. Bring the left leg up to the ceiling. Now push the button on the ceiling. Push it up. Kick the leg down in line with the right. And up. Push that button and down. One more time, up. Then bend the knee, put that foot down, articulate through your spine, lengthen your neck in one direction, fingertips in the other, feet pressed down. Do one more, roll up and roll down just to even yourself out. Squeeze those inner thighs. Very nice, and then come up to sitting. You can just bring your legs together. We have been putting the magic circle over our feet to push out on. You can do that if you like, but what I don't want is your feet walking. I want them to stay side by side, spine twist. Lengthen the back of your neck. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, grab a thumb. Reach the arms up, pull your ribs in. Think of the thigh stretch and how you pull your ribs back first. Grab the other thumb, reach up, keep your ears back between your arms. Now stretch your arms out wide to the side. Take a big inhale. This is a breathing exercise. As you exhale, twist to the right. Exhale a little bit more. Get taller. Think of your head now, pushing that button on the ceiling. Exhale a little more, twist a little more. Inhale back to the center. Big inhale. Exhale as you go to the left. Push your head up on that button. Exhale, push the button. Exhale, twist a little more and push the button and come back to the center. Twice more. 2 more sets of those. Think of your head going up to the ceiling. Feet stay centered. Push down into the opposite hip. And twist. Head reaches up to the ceiling, not forward. You've got to go up with your head. Very nice. These are hard. Yep. Finish to the left. Excellent. And then we'll lay down on whatever side you want for side kick series. You're working so hard, I'm getting warm. So make sure that you line up your body with the back edge of the mat. Use your top hand to check where your shoulders are. If you can do that, figure out where the tops of your ribs are, shoulders and your butt, not necessarily your lower back. Make sure the bottom half of your legs are extended forward. You're pushing down into your bottom leg. The top leg is loose. Top hand is pressing down underneath your ribs. Open the shoulder blades, lift the top leg, bring it back in line with your spine. Hip height, hold it. Stretch the leg. Try now, there's a button on the wall at the end of the mat. Try and push into that button. Keep reaching, keep reaching. Keep that reach as you kick forward and kick back and kick forward and kick back. You have 8 of these. You keep your own count. Push down into your bottom leg. Stretch. Remember that every time you get by that button, you're trying to push it. And you think about pushing that button as you kick forward and you kick back. When you finished your 8, bring the heel of the top foot into the arch of the bottom foot. Turn the knee and toe up to the ceiling. Bring the top hip on top of the bottom hip. It's probably rolled forward. Just check in that with that. Lift that leg, bring it up to the ceiling. Stretch the leg an inch longer as it comes down. And off you go. You have 8 of these. Keep your upper body stable. Keep your shoulders stable. Keep the back of your neck long. Pull the abdominals in. Make sure the heel gets into the arch every time. Any foot choreography is fine with me. as long as you're stabilizing. When you've finished your 8, rest that heel in the arch of the bottom foot. Lift the leg to hip height again and back in line with your spine. Let's push into that button on the wall again. Reach, everyone, reach, reach. You know what the size of a magic circle is. From your hip socket, not from your foot. Let's make 5 circles. Any direction works. 5 from your hip socket. 5 the other way. Keep reaching. You're trying to touch that button. I don't know what the function of the button is, but just keep reaching for it. When you've done your 5, kick the leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee. You can roll back on your hip a little bit and then put the foot down in front of you as best as you can, even if it's the side of your foot. You're going to keep working on making your shin as vertical as you can. Push on the knee or pull on the ankle. Open the chest, the collarbone. Squeeze your inner thighs together and lift that bottom inner thigh. Lift it, hold it, pull your abdominals in. Scoop your belly, lift the inner thigh higher. And 5 times from there. 5, lifting, not dropping, just lifting. Beautiful, that's the idea. And then 3 circles to the back of your mat. 3 circles, not dropping, only lifting. And reverse. Keep lifting and scooping your belly. Then bring the top leg on top of the bottom leg. Hand is back where it belongs to stabilize yourself. Lift the legs and bring them back in line with your spine. Make sure your feet are lined up. One isn't longer than the other. They're actually adjacent to one another. Squeeze the legs together. Stretch the legs. Now both feet are touching that button. They're lifting and touching that button. Push the button. It's recessed in the wall. You've got to reach the legs, lift them, lift them, lift them, lift both legs. Yes, yes, keep them lifted, keep them lifted, keep them lifted. Squeeze them together and then keep them up. Roll over onto your stomach. Keep the legs up, keep the legs up, keep the legs up. Push them through that little recessed button. Open and close the legs quickly, briskly, 10 times. Inner thigh beats. Bring them to the width of your mat and all the way together. 10 of these. When you're finished, roll over to the other side. So as soon as you're able to, use that top hand and check your alignment. Check your shoulders, your hips. Bring the bottom leg forward, bring the top leg on top. Make sure the bottom leg is pushing down into the mat. Anchor your hand, open your shoulders, lift the top leg in line with your spine and hip height. Now push that button push your toe into that recessed button. Reach it. I want to see everyone. I want to see the reach on everyone. Marie, lift your top leg just a little bit more. And then when you kick forward, remember where that button is, the height of that button, and that you're trying to push into it, even when you're kicking forward, even when it doesn't make sense. Open the collarbones, pull your belly in. When you've finished your 8, bring the heel of that foot into the bottom foot. Good. And then just make sure as you lift the leg up to the ceiling, so you're reaching for that button as you lift the leg up to the ceiling, you're not letting the hip roll back. If you watch this video later, you're going to see I'm demonstrating a naughty way. Not naughty, but it's your body's way of sort of cheating. You don't, and that's what I'm referencing, is keeping that hip forward as you lift. When you finish those 8, bring your leg to hip height and back in line with your spine. Now push your toe into that recessed button. Push it, it's stuck. You've got to push it in a little bit more. Yes, and from there, 5 magic circles with your leg from your hip socket, not your foot. Your foot is attached, but you're not circling your ankle, please. And reverse when you're ready. Pull those abdominals in, open the shoulders. Keep your upper body stable. When you're finished with those, kick your leg up to the ceiling, bend your knee and place that foot down as best as you can in front of you. Do what you can to get that knee to be, the shin to be vertical. Lifting the bottom leg, squeeze the inner thighs. Engage your abdominals. Abdominals and inner thighs are very intrinsically connected. Squeeze, lift. Lift, don't drop your leg. I don't want to see any dropping, only up. So at your highest point, you're only lifting from there, even if it doesn't look like it's moving. And then 5 circles to the back of your mat. There's the work. Pull your belly in, open your shoulders, reverse your circles. This may be your weaker leg. Stack your legs on top of one another, bring them back in line with your spine. Top hand is back on the mat to stabilize. Make sure your feet line up. Push both feet into the button, lifting both legs up as you go. Keep pushing those feet into the button. So that we squeeze the legs together, lift them, lift the legs, push into the wall though, push with your feet, push, reach them away, lift, 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 and then roll over onto your back. Take a quick figure 4 stretch. Inhale and exhale. Well done, everyone. We have time for teaser. We have time for a lot of things. But this is usually the time in the class where you think, don't I have a meeting now? Hold behind your legs and pull yourself up to a seated position. Okay, so like our rolling like a ball and open leg rocker, you're holding behind your knees and you're leaning back slightly. Keep your feet on the mat. And then make adjustments to your neck, your shoulders. There's a little bit of tension in your elbows. There's a micro bend. The feet are still on the mat. Now let's squeeze the legs together. Squeeze them. Lean back a little bit more, Mary and Danielle. Holding behind your knees, you're going to need that. Extend one leg straight. The knees stay together. And then switch. Knees stay together. While you do a couple more of these, while you're doing that, can you look at your pelvis? Scoop your abdominals. Think of your pelvis like that soup bowl and keep the contents level. Now extend one leg and hold it. Extend the other leg, add it to it. How's the contents of your soup bowl? Can you scoop it down? Can you keep it level? Can you walk your hands down the back of your leg just even an inch, bringing more of your pelvis down? And then walk back up to your original position. Do a couple of those. That takes a little bit of practice. Just even if it's just a millimeter, your hands are still on the back of your legs and you're just walking your lower back to the mat and up again. I know it's hard. That's how we build the teaser. Without being there to actually put my hands on you, this is the best way to do it. And then you can lower yourself all the way to the mat, bend your knees, and take a little stretch. Roll over onto your stomach or stretch your body out long. We'll practice this. And reach your arms up overhead. Keep one arm overhead, bring the other arm down. The overhead arm, that's the side you're going to roll over onto. All the way over onto that raised arm side. The other, yep. And then center yourself on the mat. Face down. Bring your feet to the width of your mat. Find the edges of your mat. Rest your forehead on your hands and then draw your feet together at the same time. That just ensures that you're centered on your mat. Stretch your arms out long. Stretch your legs out long. So your arms out overhead. Sorry, that long, yeah. The other isn't wrong either. Find your pelvis and press into your pelvis. Like I'm keeping my head up, but your head is down. Your pelvis is pressed down, your belly is pulled in, your arms are stretched out. You might even feel like your legs lift a little bit as you're pressing into your pelvis. Don't arch in your lower back. In fact, keep it long. Press one hand down and the opposite leg down. Lift the opposite hand and leg. Once that arm and leg is up, lift your head, lift your back of your neck higher than your arm, and switch arm and leg. So you've got the opposite arm and leg lifting, the opposite arm and leg pressing down, back of your neck is long, and you're looking forward. You're pulling your head, we're swimming, you're pulling your head up out of the water. Now you can go a little bit faster. It's an inhale and an exhale for each pair. Think more stretch, less lift, more length. That's the stuff. Beautiful. Finish yourself up here, make it even, and push back into a quick recovery pose. Since you're already here on your hands and knees, shift the weight forward so your hips are over your knees and your hands are under your shoulders or shoulders are over your hands. So have a quick look at yourself if you, so you're up on your hands, arms are straight. Right. Hands are flat. Let's look at the middle finger. It should be parallel to the outside edge of your mat. Keep your hands there and imagine squeezing a magic circle between your forearms and your upper arms. Squeeze those arms together. Curl your toes under. Don't move your feet, don't move your knees. Round your back, just like you did in your child's pose. Round your back, lengthen your neck, curl your pubic bone towards you. Keep squeezing the circle between your arms and keep pressing the feet down, the toes down. See if you can round your back so much, push into your hands that you can lift your knees, hover them off the mat. Squeeze the arms together. Keep lifting your ribs, think child's pose. Think making a cat shape with your back and then rest back down. The next step is to fully extend the legs. So find that position, squeeze the arms together, press into your hands, round your back like a cat, head is looking down. Start lifting the ribs up to the ceiling, lifting your knees, sliding your feet back so your legs are straight. You can stay on your knees, hips are down, stretch out the front of your hips. Shoulders are still over your hands, look down, where are your shoulders? Over your hands, please, thank you. Stretch out the front of your hips and then bring your knees down. Rest for a moment, I'm just gonna come up close to the camera. So when I'm saying stretch out the front of your hips, I mean that hip flexor area. You can do this on your knees as well. In fact, let's do it one more time and you stay on your knees. Hands are under your shoulders, middle finger is parallel. Squeeze the magic circle between your arms. Good, curl the toes under. And then slide one foot back. Slide the other foot back, your knees stay on the mat. Your toes don't have to be curled under, sorry, I misspoke. Just don't let the shoulders shift back. Let your hips drop towards the mat if you're on your knees, yeah, or straight legs, and stretch out the front of those hips, keeping your shoulders over your hands. Keep your neck long, and then relax. That's how we get into our push-up, that's how we get into our leg pull front and back. So you can take a quick stretch, you might need to shake out those hands, sit down on your hip, we'll do a mermaid. Now that you're all seated on that side, I want you to switch sides. You always start on your favorite, and it's typically the one that needs the least, it's more favorable to stretching. Find your balance. Good. Now, when I say pull your hips and your waist over your feet, I mean that way. I mean, make both sides of your waist long. So grab the outside, the ankle, bring the other arm up to your ear. From my fingertip down to my hip should be a straight line. It's not out to the side, it's not curved, it's straight. So I want you to reach up to the ceiling. So you might need to use that arm, that hand that's on the ankle, to pull your body over to your ankle. Yeah, keep stretching up, stretch up more. Now, as you go over, yes, you are bending and stretching the side of your body of the straight arm, but I don't want you to push your ribs out further than your hip. I want you to keep the ribs stretching over the ankles and then come up straight. Let's do that again. I'm going to demonstrate on the video here what I mean not to do, and that's this. So that if you watch this later, you can spotlight me and see that. Well, you won't have to spotlight because it is me. So you want to try and stay upright as you go over and lift the other waist. One last time, so a third time here, reaching up and over, then bend the forearm over the top of your head and reach with the elbow. Look forward, look straight forward, lengthen the back of your neck. Now twist your body so you're looking at the floor, and then twist your body so you're looking at the ceiling. And then come back to center, extend the arm and all the way up. Put the hand behind, actually we can extend this arm along the mat a little bit, and then raise the other arm so you have airplane arms. And then bring that other arm up and over your ear. I'm just gonna say outside arm. Reach and push into the mat, push yourself up off the mat. Imagine that there's a barrel here and you're lifting your ribs off. And then bring your hands to the back of your mat, swing your legs over to your favorite side, the other side. Then grab your ankle, reach your arm up to the ceiling. Try and shift your weight over to your ankles. Does that make sense? It makes probably, but yeah, you doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna happen. Lengthen the back of your neck, reach the arm up a little bit more. And then start to reach over. Your ribs separate, they open up, but you don't want to push them away from your hip line. That's, yes, I can see this is the favorite side. Why this is your favorite side, it's a little bit better for everybody. Do it again, lengthening the back of your neck. It's almost like your hand that's reaching to the ceiling is pulling on the back of your neck, lengthening, pulling your spine right out of your body, reaching over. Come back straight up. And on this version, we go ahead and bend the forearm over the head. Look forward, lengthen the back of your neck, and then twist your body so you look down at the mat. And then you look up at the ceiling, ending looking forward again, stretching the arm out, and then bringing that hand down on the mat and stretching it away, raising the other arm out and over your head. Push into the bottom hand and lift your ribs off the mat. So in this case, you do want to sort of create a rainbow with your body, lifting the bottom ribs up and then come all the way back up again. Nice, we're gonna do a seal. So turn around, make sure you have lots of mat behind you. And your weight's on the back of your sit bones. Feet are together, hands go inside your legs and open. Grab the outside of your ankles or your feet. Pick up your feet, find your balance. Think of your soup bowl. You're gonna pull your shoulders down, press your legs into your arms, arms into your legs. Look at that soup bowl. Keep an eye on your soup bowl the whole time you're rolling. Try and roll up and balance, and don't worry if you don't. That's not the objective. The objective is to massage your spine, to recenter your body. I want you to do one more on this. Try to make it as quiet and fluid as you can. Cross your ankles, push yourself up to a standing position, and make sure you have the full length of the mat in front of you. So if you need to turn around, find your Pilates stance. Press into the inner and outer borders of your feet, the toes and the heels. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Think thigh stretch, pull your ribs out. Stretch the front of your hip sockets. Keeping your head between your arms, bring your hands down to the mat. If you've got to bend your knees, do it. Try and aim for the middle of the mat. And then balance there. If your knees are bent, that's fine. You're gonna need some weight on your hands. Hold it, push your heels down first. Lift your ribs up to the ceiling. We did this already. Think of the ribs, think of your child's pose. Start to walk your hands forward. Keep your feet flat for as long as you can. Keep your cat position in your spine until you can stretch out the front of those hips. Hips are down, hands are over your shoulders or over your hands. Right, just push into those hands a lot. That's all I want you to do. You can hold this plank or you can bend your elbows a little bit and then push the floor away with your hands to straighten your arms. Bring your head between your arms. Shift the weight back towards your heels. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Lifting your arms, come back up to standing. We're doing that again. Take a quick break. Roll the shoulders around. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. It's much harder to start with your arms up. Head between your arms. Aim those hands towards the middle of your mat. Soften your knees if you need to get there. Once your hands are there, start to walk those hands forward. You're there when your hips are down, below your shoulder height. The front of your hips are stretched out. Push into your hands, squeeze an imaginary magic circle. Squeeze your legs together. Now you can bend your elbows a little bit and then push those hands through the floor. And then walk your hands back, bringing your head between your arms. Try to keep your head between your arms as they move. Hold it there, stay bent over. Grab your forearms, push into your toes and your heels. Let your head and the weight of your arms sink. Soften your knees if you need to. Curl your nose towards your pubic bone towards your nose. And stack your spine up, squeezing your inner thighs together. Stay in your standing position, rise up on the toes, reach the arms up to the ceiling, bring the arms out to the side, keep your head on the ceiling as you lower your heels. We'll do that one more time. Rise up on your toes, raise your arms up, squeeze your inner thighs together. Now leave your head up on the ceiling, use your imagination. Keep stretching your head up, but lower those heels, squeeze those inner thighs together, and then shake it out. You're done. Good work, everyone. You can unmute yourselves. I will stop the recording.